Today I'm going to be installing a tyre pressure kit in the Troopy. Should be a pretty straightforward install, so let's get started. This kit's pretty straightforward. It was about $100 off eBay, and we have used these before in the 79 and they're actually pretty good. It's survived about 3 years on the car so far and haven't had an issue. I do love the packaging though. It does say "foresee the air leakage." Quite interesting translation there. But this kit here is the one that goes on the end of the wheels. It does have these little pluck things here, and they're actually pretty good plastic. Like, they don't feel like a cheap plastic. They're a pretty rugged feeling plastic, so definitely doesn't feel cheap for what it is, like $100. The main reason why I did go for this kit is that there was really no more expensive kits out there that had a very small in-dash system like this. This is definitely the smallest I've seen with the tyre pressure monitoring systems. It definitely beats having those big things that sit on your dash. At least this will actually go in my dash somewhere. I'm thinking the best placement for this little screen is going to be right here. It's pretty much the perfect size just to cut out and place that in there. And a bonus is that it's right next to the fuse box down below, so when I run the wires, it'll be just straight down, don't have to cross anything, so definitely seems to be the easiest place. So I'll just have to pop this out and get rid of the little red arc trailer sensor thing that's been installed here previously. I really hate trying to pop plastics off because they always seem to get a little bit damaged, but that's not too bad. And yeah, plenty of room back there, so you should be able to just pop this thing off. Yeah, now I can pull that through somewhere and get rid of that. To cut this out, I'm going to use a Dremel and just cut around the borders. I wanted to do it on the inside of the plastic, that way when I do a test fit, it will hopefully be too small for it, and then I can just cut out a little bit extra until it fits. I gotta give it to Toyota, it's about 4mm thick of plastic, so not bad quality. I did stuff up a little bit on the sides of it, it's just a little bit too big, but it still sits in there alright. It does have a bit of a wobble, so I might need to just chuck a bit of hot glue on the back just to hold it in properly. With the wiring, it came with a micro blade fuse. We definitely won't fit in the old Troopy, that's why I've got a much bigger 15 amp fuse, which if you read on the back there, 15, so we want to definitely keep the same range. So what I'm going to do is just grind down one side of this and solder it like how they've done with this, and then at a later date I'll actually get rid of this setup altogether and wire this in a lot better than just piggybacking off a fuse. Now the wiring has a little antenna as well, so I guess we just let that dangle in there. The wires are definitely long enough to get down to the fuse box. Now that's flicked on, I can put on all the tyre sensors. I am surprised with the quality of these sensors, being that they're only about $100 for the 4. They do have a brass inside ring, and the plastic, like I said before, feels really good. So we'll give this an open. That's like a weird ring to make sure it's locked in properly with the placement there. And they give you a tool, because these do have batteries in them, you do have to swap these out. But in the last car, probably haven't changed them in a few years, so they do last a while. And opening it up, they do have a nice rubber ring, so that's pretty good, keeps the water out, and a pretty decent sized battery, so nearly half of the actual workings of this is just battery. So now with the sensors, they do have markings on them, so it's got rear right and then left rear, so you got to make sure these are in the right way or they obviously won't display correctly. Also with these, you can get ones that are built into the actual filler, so You'll need to take it down to the tyre place to get them to swap it out though. But these are the easier option where they just screw to the outside. And you can hear the air goes on, and then pretty much just like that, it is installed. And I will be keeping these on me just in case these come off. It is good to have this to protect the actual valve on the inside. Just to check that everything is working, and hopefully that bottom right is on. 2.5 bar, so I might have to jump in the settings and actually change that to PSI. So now that I know that's good, we'll chuck on the rest. Finish mucking around with the settings. You can see how quickly it boots up, and it boots right into the PSI, and you can see everything is sitting around 36, 35. And if I press the little settings button, it goes on to the temperature settings. I don't know how accurate that will be because the sensor is on the outside of the tyre. It's not really inside to really get an accurate temperature, but I don't really worry about that too much. I'm more about the PSI, which it will be very accurate with. I did do a quick test where I took off one of the sensors and straight away it jumped up saying there's a flat tyre. So it is pretty quick. This is definitely worth having it on your vehicle. I had it on a previous one and I did have a leak, a pretty fast leak actually, and I was able to stop, get the tyre puncture kit out and fix the leak pretty quickly. If I didn't, I most likely would have ruined the tyre. So for $100, it's pretty cheap and a lot better than spending $200 to $300 on a whole new tyre. So definitely worth the investment. The gauge itself, I'm pretty wrapped about. It doesn't look too much out of place on the old Troopy. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.